going on, everyone? I am Double D, and welcome to the Double D Podcast Special Edition, the 20th episode of the Double D Podcast. I'm happy I made it this far. Always your host, Double D. Just noticed there's a little bit of glare. I'm not sure if I'm going to get rid of it during this podcast, but it's okay. You can still see me fine. You can still see our guests fine, and we're going to be talking about, we're going to be pretty much ranking all the NASCAR Cup Series drivers, how we thought their season went, A through F. I'll be going down the list. But before we begin, of course, I got my guests, Droopy here with all his Dale Earnhardt Jr. gear. It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Want to introduce yourself?
It's good to be here. I'm Droopy. I'm from good old West by God, Virginia.
Nice. Sounds fun. All right. So how and when did you get into NASCAR?
Let's see. I was about 10 when I first started watching it. My brother-in-law was a big Dale Senior fan, and he was like, "Hey, come over here and watch this." I said, "Well, okay." And I sat there on the couch, and he said, "Do you see that black number 3?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's a bad man right there." And I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'm 10. Put on some Bugs Bunny and let's get on with the world."
Of course. That's what most people were at that age. Besides me. Let's watch NASCAR at 8 years old.
So, as I got older, the more I started watching it. And it was about 1992.
Wow, this is way
when
back in the day.
I've seen Jeff Gordon with the mustache.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah. So that was actually the first race that I've actually watched was Jeff's first and Richard Petty's last.
That 1992 race.
From flag to flag.
Wow. So it was that same race where Alan Quickly won and Davey Allison lost. I mean, I heard that was one of like the best title fights during the Winston era, arguably.
From what I remember, yeah. So, and it's just went on from there. Which, of course, I followed the number 3. And to this day, I still watch it.
Yeah. I'm glad he's still sticking it. I mean, I know if you being a Dale Senior fan, I mean, of course you watch him in his glory winning 2 championships. Well, he won 7, but you witnessed 2 championships. Then his 1998 Daytona 500 and unfortunately 2001. I'm glad you're still around the sport.
Yeah, because the 98 Daytona 500 kind of holds a special place. Just Daytona, period. So,
yeah,
it's been an interesting. What?
Let's see.
I'm old. I can't count that high.
I think it's like 27 years since 1998. We're going into 30
I was about
now.
to say 30. So it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, definitely. So if any of you newbies are watching my podcast, of course, I would recommend talking to older NASCAR fans. They got really good stories if you're trying to learn about the sport. really nice history, of course. When looking back at like Dale Sr.'s career, I mean, it's amazing like how he pretty much came from like, trying to build his own car himself. He drove that famous
Rags
pink
to
car they
riches.
were talking about just so he could race, and
Yeah.
then he made a big legacy from it, from that day.
When I went to Annapolis a couple years ago for my birthday, me and a friend of mine went to North Carolina because we was going to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which was, of course, was the same year Junior went in.
Uh-huh.
So we went to Kannapolis, and we first stopped at Garage in the Hall,
Yep.
a.k.a. DEI. I teared up there because I know Dale Sr.'s buried behind DEI.
That's
So
crazy.
that's the closest I've ever been to that man. So I kind of teared up there. And so we went on to Kannapolis. And of course, when you're in Kannapolis, you got to go to the Dale Station. And I kind of teared up there too. Actually, this year, I paid to have a brick with my name on it there. I will get emotional just thinking about it.
Man, it's okay.
But when you're in Kannapolis, you can feel him. And how proud that little town of Kannapolis is with the Earnhardt name.
Wow.
So we went to, as Dale Jr. calls her, Meemaw's house. And I saw the garage of Ralph Earnhardt, which is Dale's dad.
Where it all started.
And I was afraid to get on the property because, I was just like, I do not want to be put in the paper with me in handcuffs because I just wanted to touch something that Dale walked on.
Understandable.
So there is a picture of me, though, that my friend took. I got on the ground and kissed the sidewalk.
Like it was the brickyard or something.
Yes. Like, that was like holy ground. And it was a fun time.
Wow.
It really was.
I mean, it's really
And this was right after Martha died.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't know what the deal was with the house. So we didn't want to bother anything.
Yeah, understandable.
But she did have a Dale Jr. flag in her yard.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
And it was rolled up because where the wind would blow it around the hole. So I walked in the yard and I fixed the flag.
Wow.
Well, unbeknownst to me, a friend that I went with picked up a piece of the concrete that was on Martha's house, and for the longest time, I had it in my curio cabinet because, that's Earnhardt. So for me, it's been a long ride.
Wow. Yeah, that is a pretty amazing story. I'm glad I'm able to have a diehard Dale Sr. fan on here. And I definitely have to talk about Earnhardt more episodes.
I got a picture of Dale right there. And my Earnhardt versus Earnhardt.
Oh, nice.
From the Bud Shootout in 2001.
Yeah, I have a Dale Sr. Plaque right next to my racing simulator. I always drive like Dale. I always try to drive like Dale whenever I'm on there. Of course, don't have to be him.
You know what they say?
But
praise Dale.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. All right. So glad to hear about this story. Definitely we'll have to talk about Earnhardt more on different podcasts. But so it's glad to know that that's your favorite driver. I assume you're also a Dale Jr. fan because that's Dale Earnhardt's son. How was that following him throughout his career? And what was your favorite moments from when he was racing?
Well, obviously, his win-wise was a 2001 Pepsi 400.
Oh, yes. Yeah, arguably the greatest moment in NASCAR history. I mean, I believe genuinely it is, looking at the history about it.
Yeah. Career-wise, I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on him because of his last name.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They wanted him to be like Senior.
Yes.
And he can't be like Senior because there's only one Senior.
Obviously.
And Junior's era, it was a lot different than Senior's era.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, cars were a lot more regulated, and also there was a lot more there was personalities back then too, but there was also like more personalities plastered over the media around the time when Junior was racing.
Oh, Junior was everywhere. But so was Senior.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's done more for NASCAR since he's retired than what he did when he was in the car.
I mean, that's not a bad take. I mean, he revived a couple of the abandoned tracks, like North Wilkesboro, for example. And I think he brought back Bowman Gray, I think? Or was that always there?
Bowman Gray's always been there.
All right. But I heard he tried to bring back more. I know North Wilkesboro was one of them.
Wilkesboro, when he posted that little tweet on Twitter, now X.
Yep.
I was like, what in the world are you doing, Dale? Just like, what are you doing? And I watched that little YouTube thing that Dirty Mo did. Shout out to Dirty Mo Media.
Yes.
And I was like, well, okay, he makes a good point. Because at that point, Wilkesboro was rotting and basically going back to the earth. So
I mean, honestly, it wasn't for him. They probably weren't going to race there again.
No, absolutely not. Like there was no way. If you would have told me, I think like the last race of Wilkesboro was '96. If you would have told me in 1996 that in 2026 that they was going to have another points race at North Wilkesboro, I would have taken your money.
Huh.
Because I was like, NASCAR went too corporate there for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, they'll never race there again. Mm-mm. But him and Marcus are like this. And Wilkes County came alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. They were able to preserve a piece of history, pretty much.
Well, when they put it on iRacing and NASCAR was doing that thing on Fox where the iRacing.
Yeah, it was during COVID.
Of course, I watched
2020.
Because of Dale Jr. And when Mike Joy said we got a surprise for next week, I was like, "What in the world? Where are they going to race at now?" And they said North Wilkesboro. I got excited.
Yeah, just for being online.
Because I was like, North Wilkesboro was like one of the most exciting races I've ever watched. You know, and it's unique.
Yeah, old short track racing.
I tried to get on iRacing, but at the time, I didn't have the money, and I still don't have the money to do it.
Oh yeah, it's expensive.
So thank God for NASCAR 25.
Yeah, definitely us cheapskates.
Shout out to iRacing. But when I first got the game, I went to Wilkesboro.
Nice.
Because I wanted to see what it would be like for them to drive on that track. And you could really feel the going uphill down the back stretch, downhill in the front. But back to the question. I got a little sidetracked there. Sorry.
That's okay.
His career, though, in all, I have watched the beginning and the end. That for one, I feel a connection with him because I was 18 when I lost my father.
Sorry for your loss.
Which, of course, I didn't see him behind the wheel and get killed or anything, but he's just, we've watched him grow up from a boy to a man. And if you would have told me back in 1998 with the blonde hair that he was going to be a father of two beautiful girls and marry the love of his life, Amy, Yeah, I still would have said there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy how, like, Dale Jr. has developed, I mean, over the years. And especially, like, he's pretty much, I mean, he built a legacy of his own. Like, maybe not as successful as his father, but he was able to, like, build it as being, like, an influencer and pretty much being making big moves for the sport and a big influencer on everything.
Oh, he is. I mean, North Wilkesboro
Yeah.
is the greatest example. Well, other than Marcus.
Yeah. Well,
But I wish, and I don't know why, he didn't go with NBC after Amazon.
I mean, I can kind of see it because, I mean, it may pay the money, but he probably wanted more of his own thing, so he has his own platform to say what he wants to. That's what I think, personally.
Well, you're right. And I know you're a big Chase Elliott fan.
Yep. He used to drive for Junior Motorsports. That's where he won his Xfinity championship, and that's what kickstarted his career.
And I know he's one of the most popular drivers. But if Earnhardt was still racing,
oh, it'd definitely be Earnhardt.
Elliott wouldn't be the winner.
Yeah, Elliott wouldn't be close. I mean, back even like 2016, 2017, Earnhardt was still winning most popular driver while Chase Elliott was in here. Elliott was probably second popular to Earnhardt.
Props to Chase.
Yeah.
Because for as long as I can remember, it's been an Elliott or an Earnhardt winning most popular driver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in like the 90s too, Billy Elliott was also winning it quite a bit. It was either him or Earnhardt back in the day.
Oh. Well, Dale never won it.
Oh, he didn't?
Because of Bill.
Wow.
Only reason why Senior won it in 2001
Yeah, it's because he passed.
is because Bill Elliott stepped out.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yes.
I mean,
because even then, if Bill Elliott was in the running, he probably still would have won it.
I mean, I actually did not know that. I thought it was because, like, a lot of people had, like, more respect for Dale because he passed, and that's why they were voting for him. But, I mean, that's pretty humble of Bill Elliott himself to step down and let Earnhardt have that. I mean, that's amazing.
Yes, I give props to Bill.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of good stories you have told and a lot of sentimental stories, of course, around Earnhardt and everything. We'll definitely have to have another episode of you pretty much telling Earnhardt stories because I think they're pretty interesting. I'm glad you're able to share them on this channel, your experiences and everything. But, okay, more to, like, the topics that we're going to discuss. What's a favorite diecast that you own?
This is my baby.
Oh, awesome. That was one where, like, Dale Jr. won a Daytona in, like, 2010.
Yes, for it's when Dale went into the Hall of Fame, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was the year.
I think that was, like, his first victory in, like, the 3 car since, what, his dad died, I think?
No, he raced it for Richard in 2002.
Oh, 2002? Okay.
In Daytona.
That's right.
So, but yeah, that was the last time he was going to drive the 3.
And he won.
And he won.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, it explains why Dale Jr. is, like, very popular to a lot of people. I mean, just the stories all around back to this and, like, what everything has led up to. I mean, of how the sport has even grew. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty cool piece to share. I mean, I'll definitely have to do an episode myself of, like, my diecast collection. Still building it. Still, I'm probably going to fill up all these walls. You never know. But
Well, when I lived in my other house, that karaoke cabinet was plumb full. Which of course a lot of it is in storage now. But that it was full, and it was nothing but Earnhardt. Dale Jr., Dale Sr., the Funko Pops. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that three car is my favorite.
that's awesome. All right, so now, glad to hear about all your stories and like how you got into NASCAR and of course your knowledge about the Earnhardts. So now we're going to talk about grading these drivers from the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. I've been talking about like this idea that I was going to make the video like this, like where we were going to grade the drivers and how they done this season. And that's why I brought you up here. You're going to give your commentary on what your thoughts on how I'm grading these drivers. Okay, I have these drivers in like a random order. So I'm pretty much going to put them up here. Some of them I'll talk about a little bit. Some I'll just say briefly wider there and then move on. But here we go. Here's the first driver I got. So I got Chase Briscoe. First one. Had a really consistent season. First half, he was kind of started slow. I mean, he wasn't really as competitive as his teammates like Christopher Bell or Denny Hamlin. But he was able to get a win at Pocono. And then he started the playoffs really strong and really picked up a lot of consistency towards the end. And he ended up getting 3 wins and one of his probably so far best season of his career in the Cup Series. And I have to say for him, I'm going to rank him. I'm going to put him in the A tier. Now, it may be a little bit far because he didn't win a championship, but I feel like this is like a big like turnaround in like Chase Briscoe's career. Because before he moved up to Joe Gibbs, he was with Stewart-Haas Racing, a dying Stewart-Haas Racing. And he had to like muscle that 14 car to get wins for him. For example, Darlington, where he's able to get Stewart-Haas their last win, going against Kyle Busch. But he was able to show that he has earned this Joe Gibbs ride, and this is why I put him in the A spot. Of course, he's got like 15 top 5s, 19 top 10s, 884 laps led, 7 poles, the most poles this season, 4 DNFs, and an average finish of 12.667. So I say pretty much impressive, and all those poles kind of reminds me of Ryan Newman back in the day. Your thoughts on his ranking?
I would give him a B.
Okay.
Because of the DNFs. But like you said, he was strong there at the beginning of the playoffs. But if you remember when Martin Truex was in that ride, he pretty much had the same results.
Until his last couple of seasons, of course.
Until his last couple of seasons. Correct. So I would give him a B on that.
Okay, I mean that's a fair take, but I think with like Chase Briscoe proving himself, I think this is like an A season. Maybe it feels like next year if he had a couple more years, maybe I think he'd be ranked lower. But I'd say this year he earned an A. Okay, so next.
Well, I kind of agree with you on that because he was at Stewart-Haas and Stewart-Haas was dying. So that's why I give him a B also. Because he's got a good ride now. Let's see what you can do.
Of course. Okay, so next driver I have up is Josh Berry. So Josh Berry, he had an interesting season. Pretty much the only highlight he had was that win at Las Vegas. It just happened to fall into his right hands. Had a couple of good runs at short tracks. I mean, New Hampshire, after he had that bad playoff round in the round of 16. He just didn't really, beside that win, I mean, just watching him, he hasn't really made as much noise in that 21 car. I will say he was better than Harrison Burton being in there last year, but I think he still has a lot of work to do. So, with him being in pretty much Penske equipment, because Wood Brothers is Penske affiliated, I'm actually going to put him in the D tier. I think it would have been an F if he would not have had that win at Las Vegas, but I'm putting him in the D tier. I still think I still need to see like some improvement from Josh Berry, which I think if you give him a couple more years in the Cup car, I think he'll be able to get there. But he's also up there in age, shoot. He's in his 30s, so he's got to find it as fast as he can, or there'll be other drivers they'll be trying to put in his ride. So.
Ooh, you put me on a tough one on this one. Because Josh Berry came from Junior Motorsports.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was great at Junior Motorsports, but I mean, once he transitioned, it's kind of different. Car, of course. And he was with Stewart Haas's rookie year. I mean, that's not really a good start being in not as good equipment. I will give him that.
Right. Give him a D plus. Well, because I'm being biased. He did come from Junior Motorsports.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I think he came up a little too early.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I mean, Wood Brothers being desperate for a ride. I mean, I thought they'd go for more of a driver that had more sponsorship. But, I mean, I could see them taking a shot at Josh Berry just because he has that short track experience.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd give him a D plus.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. All right, on to the next driver. So the third one I got is Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, I'm just going to put him in the F section right away. All because, look, almost all three of his teammates made it into the Final Four. He wasn't able to make it into the playoffs. And this is his, third full-time season. And he still hasn't got anything done in that 54 car. His best season was last year when he made it to the playoffs. But he still didn't score any wins. And he still was the fourth-string driver in his team. Of course, the first half of the season was abysmal. He had a couple of good runs, but he wasn't able to execute the races. And he failed to make the playoffs, too, finishing 19th overall in the standings. And if we look at his stats, he only had 5 top 5s, 10 top 10s, kind of similar to Alex Bowman, which we would later talk about in this podcast. But he's only had 304 laps led and 4 DNFs. And he had an average finish of 17.861. Kind of picked it up in the second half, but I say it's an F because, I mean, all three of your drivers in, the Joe Gibbs is, championship contenders. And he wasn't even able to make it to the playoffs. So, what do you think?
I totally agree. My personal opinion, I don't think he was ready for a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. He was rushed up because of Kyle Busch situation.
Yeah, so I can't really say how I really feel about Ty Gibbs. Well, I guess I could say the same thing about Austin Dillon. Grandpa owns the company.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, though, Denny, Bell,
and Chase Briscoe.
And Briscoe, they all made the playoffs.
Yeah, and Hamlin and Briscoe made it to the championship 4.
You got the exact same equipment as those other 3.
Yeah.
You need to get your butt in gear.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's likely probably going to keep that ride, unfortunately. I mean, I hope he does improve. I don't root against drivers for them not to succeed, but he's got to make some improvement.
No, absolutely not.
But okay, I got the next driver here, AJ Allmendinger. So AJ Allmendinger, for the first half of the season, he was kind of running in like the top 20 in points. I mean, it looked like he was going to be a contender for that bubble spot until we kept getting more like first winners in like the season, not first time winners, but like first winners to get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually going to give AJ Allmendinger a C. The reason why I'm giving him a C, of course, colleagues doesn't have the top tier equipment, but it looked like he was racing decently at the ovals, which usually he only does good at the road courses. But it looks like he's the top driver for them over there at Colleague, and I'd have to say this was a decent season for him. So I'm putting him at the C. I don't really have much to say on him. C for Celsius.
Oh, the danger. I totally agree with everything you just said. But also, Allmendinger's also been in good vehicles when he was with Penske.
Yeah.
And kind of screwed up there.
I mean, I was early in his career. I mean, honestly, in a way, he's kind of like Kurt Busch. Was in a slump for a little bit and then had to pick it back up.
So, yeah, let's just go with I agree with everything you just said.
All right. Okay, so next I got Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski, I mean, I don't know. His season was kind of rough. I'm not going to put him in the F tier, but I'm going to put him in D tier because he had good runs, but he just wasn't able to win races. And RFK, they proved to have speed, but there was multiple opportunities where they could have won a race, and they just weren't able to execute. Like, they either had bad luck, something bad would happen to him, and there was some other races too. It looked like Brad Keselowski just didn't have the car at all. Similar to Kyle Busch, which we'll talk about later, but he just did not perform that well on the RFK car. Not in the F tier, because, I mean, there's other top teams, but still, not a good season for Brad. Still more room for improvement for him later on in his career. So, I mean, that's really all I have to say about him.
With Brad K, I kind of got mixed feelings about.
He did drive for Junior
gave him his
Motorsports,
first ride.
Yeah.
So, but if Christopher, I always butcher his last name.
Chris Buescher.
But yeah, when Chris Buescher wins in your stuff and you don't, there's something wrong somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about them this year, they weren't able to like win a race even. Which, let's just head on to Chris Buescher right away because I want to talk about him. And this was actually one of like the main ones I was wanting to talk about. It's gonna sound crazy, but I'm putting him in the F tier. And the reason why I put him in the F tier, 2024, he proven that he could win multiple races and that he could be possibly a title contender. This year, I think he had like a slump from last year and he wasn't able to win races. He had speed at a couple of races, but honestly, with the equipment that RFK has now, I expect more results from him. So I'll have to say it was more of a failure for Chris Buescher. This might sound like a bold take. Maybe he should have been ranked higher, but when you got speed, you got to take advantage of it.
Yes, absolutely. So I give him an F also.
All right. Okay. So here, the next one I got is Bubba Wallace. Now, a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for this one. I'm actually putting him in the B tier. Now, this might sound like an insane take, but hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. The reason why I have him in the B tier, this was probably the best season of his career. First half did not do well in the first half of the season, but the second half during the summer and the beginning of the playoffs, he really picked it up. I mean, he won the Brickyard 400, had really strong runs at Richmond and all those other tracks coming up until he had that bad round of 12. But I mean, I thought for moments during like the season he was a top driver at 23:11. And he just showed a lot more consistency this season and a lot more patience than he did in years past. So that's why I rank him at B. And the only reason why I don't have him like, I mean, you could probably argue that he'd be in the C tier with all the DNFs he had. He's had 9 DNFs. But most of those were more mechanical failures from 23:11 and potentially like bad luck that cost him. So that's why I didn't rank him lower. But I think overall this was really a big improvement season. Like how I rank these drivers, I pretty much go off of how their equipment is, where are they in their career, and like how they're improving off of what their situation is. And that's why I have Bubba Wallace there to be. I say it's his best season, but I think he still has a lot to work on. But this was one of his best seasons. I mean, I got to hear your take because you were like, what?
Okay. Oh, Bubba. I would have to give him a C minus.
That's fair. I mean,
and no reason why he did win one of the crown jewels. Now, with that said, I think once Danny steps out of the car,
yeah,
and actually focuses on 2311, the equipment will be a little bit better.
That's if they exist after this lawsuit, but let's keep on talking about right now. What do you think?
Yeah. So I give him a C minus. He does have some room of improvement to do. He can be one of the top stars in NASCAR. He's to me, now this is just me talking, he just has a bad attitude.
I mean, yeah, I hear that from other people too, so you're not the only one saying it.
So that's what kind of turns me off about him.
Maybe he's a sore loser at times.
So
kind of like Kyle Busch, when he was young in his career.
Yeah, that's the reason why Kyle Busch got booed a lot of the time.
Yeah,
a lot of the time. But yeah, I give him a C minus.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I have him ranked on B based on his performance. So next one I have is Carson Hocevar. Now Hocevar, I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the C tier because Carson Hocevar and that Spire equipment, I'd say he outperformed his equipment. I mean, he almost won in Nashville, and then he almost won the Coca-Cola 600 if his engine did not expire. I mean, there was no doubt if he didn't have bad luck happen to him, he was going to make it to the playoffs. And I think the only thing that's keeping him down is, of course, his DNFs and him having not as good of an average finish. He only has an average finish of 21.583. A low average finish, but he showed some feisty speed, I'm telling you, in some of those races. And honestly, if you look up the next season, maybe Spire improves their equipment a little bit more. Oh, he's going to be contender for wins, I believe. What do you think of my ranking here?
The talent's there. Like you said, with his equipment, wasn't that the same equipment that Corey LaJoie had?
Yes. I say the 7 car is cursed though, because Justin Haley was also doing that. We'll talk about Justin Haley later.
Yeah. I think he'll be the face of the company.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so too. You give him more time. But
so let's see how he goes with the sophomore slump.
yeah, because this was his rookie. No, I think was he part-time last year? I don't
Was
remember.
it his rookie? I think this year was his rookie year.
Yeah, I think last year was his rookie year because I think the only rookies this year was SVG and Riley Earps. So I think this was his second year. I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. My bad. That's my fault.
Yeah. But still, looking really good.
So,
I'd say improvement from last season because last season he wasn't contending at all.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So go on to the next driver. I have Ryan Blaney. So Ryan Blaney, I mean, first half he was DNFing quite a bit, had all that bad luck. But of course, the second half of the year he really turned it around. Scared me at the Martinsville race. I thought he was going to win that race again, do the exact same thing he did in 2023. But he wasn't able to do it. William Byron was able to hold him off. But he, compared to all the other drivers, besides his DNFs, looked really consistent. Looked kind of like the Ryan Blaney driver he usually is. So I'm going to put him up in the B tier. Still had a really good season. Not a championship season, but still a really good season. What are your thoughts?
RYB. I really respect Ryan Blaney, even though I'm not a Ford guy.
Yeah.
But he kind of started off rough. I was really thinking that he was going to be in the Final Four because of how everything was going.
And even how Penske's good at the flat tracks.
Yes. So I would give him, I'd probably give him a B-.
Yeah. All right. Fair. That's kind of where I had him. All right. Next I got is Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell. Now, this is one of the drivers that I thought should have been in the championship for. Even first place in the Winston format. So if you look at his stats, he has 4 wins, 13 top 5s, 22 top 10s, 282 laps led, 1 pole, 3 DNFs, and he had an average finish of 11.194, one of the highest in the field. And yet, he wasn't able to make it to the championship for. And like I said, if it is a different points format, he'd probably won the championship. But, I mean, because of him not making it to the championship 4, though, and not being as clutch toward the end of the season, I got to put him in the B tier. Because he ran a great season, but he just wasn't able to get into the championship 4. He just happened to make a little more mistakes there in the round of 8. So I got to put him there. And Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe were able to get in, but Bell wasn't for some odd reasons. So what do you think of his ranking here?
I agree with you on your grade. I really think that 20 car is cursed also since Tony left. I think just the Toyotas, period, are just almost there. I mean, to be up there with the Penske's, the Hendricks, Vic cars.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're definitely like one step away.
I mean, they're
there. I'd say they're neck and neck. But with the rumor mill that Hendrick's going to force change like their car, because, of course, there's deal with like Chevy Camaro ran out. So they're trying to look for a new type of Chevy body. Here's the crazy thing. I think Chevy will have an advantage of over Toyotas and Fords. They'll have a lot more time to improve their car, where Ford and Toyota are still running off of the same stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling in a couple of years, maybe not the first year because he saw how 2018 went, but Chevy, I think, will have a massive advantage.
I totally agree. So, but Seabell is special.
Another thing I'd like to add too, I remember the discussion we were having the other night about how Toyota's lacking prospects. They're lacking like drivers. I mean, the only one they got is Corey Heim, and he just won the truck championship. But like I said, I feel like Toyota's more endangered than all the manufacturers because not only the lawsuit, but not as much prospects as like the Ford guys and the Chevy guys. There's a lot more work that they got to do.
Oh yeah, and this lawsuit is not helping Toyota's look at all. I think when Dodge makes its way to Cup, there's going to be more Toyota teams going to Dodge.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to develop with a new manufacturer. I mean, Ram's already back, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dodge comes back.
Well, I was there when Dodge was in Cup, the Winston Cup, and
of course they won that one lap championship with Brad Keselowski in 2012.
They were still the team to beat because at certain tracks they shined.
Most definitely. All right, so it's good we're talking about that about Christopher Bell. I'm glad to hear you agree on that. So Kyle Busch, no debate here. I'm putting him in the F section. It was an even more worse year than 2024. 2024, he was close to getting wins. But, I mean, blow up RCR, blow up everything there, because they have been struggling the entire year. Like, their equipment's bad. The only win they got was with Austin Dillon at Richmond, and it's because Richmond is Austin Dillon's best track. But, I mean, of course, they just fired Randall Burnett. They got a new crew chief in for Kyle Busch. Maybe they'll be able to fix stuff there. But it's going to take a lot more than just a crew chief moves. I think there's got to be a better philosophy in RCR. There's got to be a lot more team organized if they're ever going to be competing for wins again. Back in like their 22 and 23 form.
He's making my 8 look bad.
Yeah, sadly.
I never really was a Kyle Busch person. Which, of course, when he went to the 8, I was like, okay. But personally, he gets an F- for me because of everything. Now, RCR holds a special place in my heart.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
But I think Kyle's on his way out the door anyways. Like, I'd say within the next 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sad thing for Kyle Busch. Like, he looked really promising, like, even like a couple of years ago. But, I mean, for some drivers, sometimes like your cliff hits earlier. Your decline hits earlier. And I think Kyle Busch might be one of those drivers, unfortunately. I mean, you saw it with Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, after that Pocono wreck in 2017, like, everything went downhill for Jimmy Johnson. And he ended up being out of the sport in a couple of years. But, I don't know. It's going to take a big turnaround for Kyle Busch's career to have a second wind.
I would love to see Richard win another championship before I pass. Um, so my hope is Kyle at least shows a little more promising this coming year than what he did last year.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so next ranking, I got Noah Gragson. Now, Noah Gragson, I mean, of course, he's had an up and down career. This year, I'm just gonna put him in a D tier because he did not have good runs at all. But also, this is kind of like his first full time season because remember he got suspended halfway in 2023. But this was kind of like his first full time season if you think about it. He's not as good as equipment, so that's why I don't have him down on the F because it's his first full season. But just not really much performance out of him, so I'm putting him in the D tier.
I give him a D plus. Again, because of JRM.
Yeah.
I'm showing favoritism to my
That's
JRM boys. Noah, he did good in Xfinity. And when he came to Cub, I don't, like I said, when he got suspended and everything else. I kind of like him because he does have that little bit of an edge attitude to him. Like,
yeah. A lot of people compared him to Tim Richmond.
Yes. I was trying to think of someone back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s person. I think if you give him good equipment, he'll be a winner.
Oh, wait, I got to correct myself. He drove a full-time season with Stuart Haas. I forget about that.
Yes.
But that's when Stuart Haas was dying, too, so I give him a pass for that as well. Apologize.
Was he in the 10 car?
Yeah, he was in the 10 car when Almirola retired in 23.
So he really ain't been in that good of equipment.
Yeah.
But he also had a bad attitude at JRM. So, if you give him a good vehicle, equipment, a good team built around him like JRM had,
yeah,
he'll win.
All right. So the next driver I got up is Ty Dillon. I'm gonna put Ty Dillon in a D tier. Only reason why I don't have him in the F tier is because he did well in the in-season challenge that NASCAR had. He was able to get up to. He brought the 32nd seed up to the championship round. And then, of course, Indianapolis, he didn't have the race go his way, and Ty Gibbs was able to win that. But, I mean, he did better than his other performances for, seasons, but still mediocre. But this was one of his best seasons in Cup. But, of course, he also had that embarrassing moment at Las Vegas where he was coming down pit road and William Byron smacked him in the back. But, I mean, I can only rank Ty Dillon D tier.
I could give him a D too. Ty Dillon is, if he wasn't in Austin's shadow, I think he could do a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, I do have kind of respect for Ty Dillon, not taking the route like Austin Dillon is, staying with the team, trying to show skill himself that he can actually earn a ride.
The one thing I liked about Ty Dillon, and I become a little bit of a Ty Dillon fan, when he used Danny Hamlin's line.
Yeah, he said, "I beat your favorite driver."
When he said, I beat your favorite driver.
I thought that was comedy.
So that turned me with Ty just a little bit.
Yeah, so okay, next driver I got is Ross Chastain. I'm gonna put Ross Chastain to C tier. He had a decent season. He won the crown jewel, of course, Coca-Cola 600. But other than that, he didn't run good. He didn't run bad. He just ran like he was there, just quiet. Then, of course, he was trying to make it into like a round of 8. And he had that move like where he spun Denny Hamlin. He was trying to run backwards. But I don't know. He just didn't really do as much as other seasons. So that's why I'm putting him in a C tier. Not a bad season, but just he's had better performances.
I give him a D plus.
Oh, a D. So yeah, I'm lower.
Because he could have done better. I think he should have won a couple more races. Because Trackhouse has the equipment to give him. So hopefully 2026 is a lot better for that one car.
Oh yeah, I hope so. All right.
Because I want to see more watermelon squash.
Oh yeah, but a lot of people do too. So next I got is Ryan Preece. So Ryan Preece, I'm actually gonna rank him higher than I did the other RFK drivers. I'm gonna put him at a C, because Ryan Preece, of course, he's kind of had like an up and down career. Of course, Stewart Haas. I mean, he had a couple of vicious crashes. Even won the Daytona 500 this year. But he's kind of been up and down. But this year, at least, he shows that he deserves that RFK ride, because he shows he had speed, winning speed. But kind of like Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski, wasn't able to execute a race and win. But Ryan Preece showed that he's able to drive the car. So that's why I have him up in a C tier.
I give him a C because of everything you just said. He's just let's just say I'll just go with what you did.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, his stats don't look good. But I mean, if you saw his performances, it looks pretty good, I say, on a few tracks.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for a wrong strategy call or bad luck.
Yeah.
Heck, he almost won the last race at Phoenix on that tire strategy that nobody was paying attention to. All right.
Exactly.
Next,
and I kind of like drivers like that.
Yeah.
Just below the radar.
Yeah, next I got Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, now, I'm going to put him in the C tier. I have him in the C tier because although he didn't win a race, did have a consistent season, but I have him ranked lower than Bubba Wallace and lower in the tier making is because he underperformed this season. Last year he was in the championship 4. So I expect more out of Tyler Reddick, and he just wasn't able to perform like these other drivers. It's like he was missing the spark. He had consistency, he had the runs, he just didn't have the spark. And Reddick also, I have his stats right here, he only led 169 laps. Bubba Wallace led 378 laps, a lot more laps than Tyler Reddick did. So, to me, this was a downhill season for Reddick, so that's why I have him ranked at a C.
Well, as a Michael Jordan fan my whole life, that 45 number's bad luck.
Yeah. Yeah, because of Kurt Busch. I understand that.
And I love Kurt Busch. But, that's bad. He shows a lot of promise. he's again, he's one of those cars that tries to stay below the radar. This year, I don't know what was going on with that 45 camp. Hopefully they fix that this year or 2026.
Yeah, if they exist. You never know.
If they exist. But he's a good driver. He is a good driver. He really is. I just don't understand what happened.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes your team has down seasons like that. So next, I got Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman, similar situation to Ty Gibbs, just a fourth string driver for Hendrick, and just wasn't really able to perform like his other Hendrick teammates. So Alex Bowman, I'm going to put him at the D tier. The only thing that's keeping me from putting him in the F tier was because he made the playoffs. He still had a consistent season. Well, he still had a decent season. I wouldn't say consistent. He had a decent season. Just the only reason why he was pushed further down was because a lot of other drivers had wins. But Alex Bowman, of course, just didn't have the clutchness like his other teammates did. I mean, if you look at his stats, he only had 6 top 5s, 16 top 10s, 165 laps led. Not as much laps led at all. Actually, less than Tyler Reddick. 2 poles, 4 DNFs. Not as much DNFs. He only had an average finish of 17.389. For a Hendrick driver, those are low stats. Like yes. For example, Ty Gibbs for Joe Gibbs and Alex Bowman here. Your expectations as a Hendrick driver are high. You're supposed to perform for Hendrick. And Alex Bowman just did not have a good season this year. And that brings his ride in question for next year. And I say he's pretty much on the hot seat for next year. He's got to perform next year, or Hendrick may be looking for other talent. So, what are your thoughts?
I give him an F because of everything you just said.
All right, so you have him lower.
I kind of see it as Bowman is the Casey Kane.
Yeah.
When Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson and Dale Jr.
But I will say Casey Kane was more in the twilight of his career whenever he was struggling. And also, I think he had some like not health problems like where he was dying, but like health problems like where he had a harder time trying to drive the car. That's why he stepped away.
He is. I would say he is in the hot seat because he wasn't even that good of a driver before he came to Hendrick.
I say his best season
sometimes like on.
Yeah, I say his best season was in like 2021 because that's when he won. He didn't even make it to the round of 8, but he got 4 wins that season. I say that was his best season, but he only had like 1 or 2 good seasons, in my opinion, with Hendrick.
Oh, well, you could say the same thing about Dale Jr.
Yeah.
Dale Jr. there went winless for like 2 years.
But in Dale Jr.'s defense, he was battling with like a lot of concussion issues. But he was able to pick it up, like, right before, of course, he had those symptoms in 2016, 2014 to 2015. And Steve Letarte, that pairing, too. It looked like that turned Dale Jr.'s career around whenever he was struggling for that little bit.
He that Dale Jr. with Letarte reminded me of what it was like in the Busch series, a.k.a. Xfinity.
Yeah, when he won like 2 championships in a row in that series.
When he won 2 championships with the Uris. So, yeah, but Bowman, if he even makes it to the summer or fall race at Daytona, I'll be shocked.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. All right, so next driver I got is Daniel Suarez. I'm putting Daniel Suarez automatically in the F tier. Now, no hate against Daniel Suarez. I've met Daniel Suarez. He's a great guy, but his performance really dipped from last season. And heck, he even got released from Trackhouse Racing. Now, I think Trackhouse was wanting more Connor Zillage, but just the fact that they released him, like they announced that he wasn't going to return in like the middle of the season, that shows that your performance is way down. And it just wasn't a good year for Suarez at all. Thankfully, he does have a ride. He's going to Spire in that 7 car, replacing Justin Haley. But he's got to try to turn it around if he's going to keep these cup rides. I mean, he would just, in my opinion, whenever like Carl Edwards left, he was brought up too early. He was kind of thrown to the wolves. And he's had a hard time trying to figure out the teams because he hasn't really been able to like settle in his ride. Because he got kicked from Joe Gibbs, went to Stuart Haas, then he went to a smaller tier team, then he went to Trackhouse, now he's with Spire. He's pretty much a journeyman in this sport.
Yeah. He's this generation of Juan Pablo Montoya.
I can see it because he is decent at the road courses.
Yeah. And I mean, he has won at Sonoma. And I think he won Mexico this year.
Yeah, he won an Xfinity Series in Mexico.
Yeah, the Xfinity Series. In JRM car, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, it's a pretty cool sentimental moment over there.
Yeah. He's been in good stuff. I just don't think he is cup. Trying to think of the word that I'm thinking of. Cup worthy, yes.
Yeah.
I think if he would drop down to Xfinity.
Yeah, I mean, he could take the
like
same route AJ
Allmendinger
Allmendinger took. Kind of struggled in the cup, and he dropped down to Xfinity, and then he got better.
Hey, yeah, do that.
All right. So, and who knows? More drivers moving up, they may be trying to find spots for him. I mean, that's where Harrison Burton's at right now, too. But, okay, next driver I got is Cody Ware. Cody Ware, I'll put him in the D tier. And here's why I put him in the D tier. He didn't have as bad as other seasons. Still, I mean, I can't really, like, rank him that high because, of course, he's in Rick Ware equipment. They're probably, like I say, in my opinion, they're probably, like, the slowest team in the series. I'll say the reason why I'm giving him a D, he didn't wreck as much. He was able to keep his equipment more clean. And in that situation, with a car that can't really perform that well, that's what you got to do. You just got to keep your cars from wrecking, and you just got to try to keep it clean. And he also led some laps at Daytona. So I say that's an improvement for him.
I totally agree. I put him in the Fs as well. He just... yeah, we'll just go with everything you just said.
I mean, I will say, too, Cody Ware, he's kind of there because of Rick Ware, but I mean, just the fact that with it being smaller equipment, he was able to not... He was able to keep more cleaner this season.
Yeah.
So, and like I said,
absolutely.
I don't go based off of what they're ranked in points. I go based off of how they improved from their one season and how they're, like, developing as a driver. That's how I look at everything. Okay, so next...
I would think maybe if you put him in different equipment, he would be... I would at least see driver.
Now, I will say the strange thing in 2024, he didn't really perform in Rick Ware, but Justin Haley was able to perform. But then when Justin Haley went to Spire, he had a big dip. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't really tell. But, okay.
Exactly.
So next, I got Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric, I'm going to put him in... it's really hard for me to rank him. Because he does enough to keep his job. He gets a win here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Does enough to keep his job. But he's not as competitive like Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. So I either got to put him between the C or the D tier. I'm just gonna have to put him. I don't know. I'll put him in D tier because he should be performing as a championship contender caliber like Blaney and Logano, but he just hasn't had that speed. And look, I know he made it to like the round of 12, but he's one of those drivers that you know aren't going to make it that far.
Right.
But like I said, he does enough to keep his job, but he's not a championship contender.
I give him a D.
Yeah, that's where I have him.
He just underperforms in that car. Like,
I mean, I have Josh Berry ranked the same spot in the D tier.
You have pretty much two championship teams in the 22 and the 12 that has the exact same stuff you have in the dudes. And they're over here winning championships, and you're just over here just driving along.
Yeah. It's like Beetlejuice, that one Beetlejuice meme where he's just hanging around. He's like, nothing, just hanging around.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to add that clip.
So
that's hilarious.
I also think Cindric will be in the hot seat
this year, I say.
This year, if not this year, next year.
Yeah. And of course, with Tim Cindric being gone from Penske, I mean, his ride's definitely not guaranteed now. So we're going to have to see what happens. All right. So next, I got Cole Custer. Cole Custer, I'm putting in the D tier because, of course, Haas factory team used to be partnered with Stewart Haas. Of course, I'd say, I know Stewart Haas is gone, but they pretty much downgraded. Their equipment, I say they're like the second worst team right behind Rick Ware Racing. I don't really have much to say about Cole Custer. Didn't really have as good equipment, so I'm just putting him in the D tier.
I kind of put him in the F tier.
Okay.
Because even when he was with Stewart Haas, he still underperformed.
Yeah, good point.
And again, that's when Stewart Haas was going out the door.
Yeah. Now, as I say, like, if I was going based off of career, maybe I have him ranked lower because the only win he had was in, like, 2020 at Kentucky where he got on that overtime restart. And in 2020, Stewart Haas was, like, the best team. I mean, Kevin Harvick had, like, 8 wins. And he had other drivers winning races. Mm-hmm. But Cole Custer, I mean, he just wasn't able to perform like his teammates were back then. But, of course, the rest of the time, Stewart Haas has been declining. He's just been in lower equipment. So I'm just not really able to rank him that well.
Yeah, so that's why I give him an F.
All right. Okay, next I got Eric Jones. Now, Eric Jones, I'm going to put him in the C tier because Legacy Motor Club, they did a big turnaround this season, I say. They were kind of like Spire.
Oh, yeah.
Contending for wins. I mean, John Nemechek, his teammate, and Eric Jones, they were in the top 10 here and there. I mean, if you give them a couple more years, that may be a team that's competing. And with Jimmy Johnson and Richard Petty teamed up, they're really building that organization together.
Yeah, they are.
So I'm putting Eric Jones there, and I guess I might as well put John or Nemechek in the same category in C because they're already overperforming what Legacy was last year. And pretty much I say Eric Jones and John has like similar stats.
I give both of them a C because they're competing. Like they're there like almost every single race. And to see a Nemechek up there, it kind of takes me back to the 90s with Front Row Joe. So, yeah, I give them a C. I give them both a C for that.
All right. So next, I got Denny Hamlin. Now, Denny Hamlin, a lot of people have argued and said he should have won a championship this year. I mean, all the stuff he's went through with the NASCAR lawsuit, his personal life, and he got the most race wins this season. Maybe did not have as consistent of a season as the other drivers that were in the championship for, but he made a big argument that he could have won the championship for. And I say, in my opinion, I've said this even in the podcast for the championship race, all those drivers in the championship four deserve to win this year. I say. Argument that they could deserve to win. But Hamlin, I mean, with the season he had, this was his best shot of winning the championship, and he still couldn't win. I'll say Phoenix, he ran the perfect race. Only for his crew chief to make the bad pit call, and he just wasn't able to win it. So for him not winning the championship and taking advantage of that, I'm putting him in the B tier. He had a phenomenal season, like one of the best seasons of his career, and it just wasn't enough.
This one is almost as bad as Bubba. Jokingly, when Larson won, I stood up from my couch and said, "I just beat your favorite driver, folks." But sentimentally, Denny deserves to win one.
Yeah. But you just have some drivers that don't. I mean, Carl Edwards, for example, came so close so many times, and of course he retired after 2016.
He was 3 laps away from conquering that championship. Now, granted, there has been awesome drivers that never won a championship. I think Denny's on his way out.
Yeah, I mean, he does have 2 more years in his contract, I
think me and you talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about
it the other night.
Yeah, the other night. He only's got 2 more years left in his contract, and we don't even know. Like, Hamlin said he hasn't really decided if he'll be still racing after this year. He just says still taking some time to think about it. I think eventually he'll be back because he's still going off of momentum. He's going to try to win it again. I mean, for example, he had Kevin Harvick race until he was like 47, 48, so he's still... There's some drivers still able to have that magic.
Well, Dale Earnhardt raced till he was 49.
Yeah, until the day he died, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, the drive that he has reminds me a lot of Senior. Wanting to win and doing what it takes to win. The only thing that turns me against Hamlin is his lawsuit. But other than that, I think he's a phenomenal driver. So I give him, grade-wise, I give him an A-.
Yeah. I mean, that's
And
understandable. Argumentally, you can put him in the A position, but just because he didn't win, I just put him in the B section.
he was 3 laps away. And I'm not saying, and Willie B paused it.
Press the button.
Is trying to go flat. Because I've heard that, I've read that. I'm like, no, I mean, they're going like 200 mile an hour. How in the world are you just going to like stick your hand out the window and then take a knife to the tire?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. All right.
So I give him an A minus.
All right. Next driver I got is Justin Haley. Kind of already went over him earlier. I'll put him in the F section. Could not perform at all in that 7 car.
Mm-hmm.
His worst season by far. And he got released as well from Spire. And he doesn't know where he's going to be going after that, I don't think. So I'm putting him in the F tier. Excuse me. Enough said. I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah, enough said.
All right. SVG. SVG is interesting. For most of the season, he couldn't perform at the ovals. But the second half, he had some pretty good runs. And of course, won 5 of the 6 road course races. So second amount of most wins this season. For SVG, this was his first full-time season. And I think there's still a lot more potential for improvement in SVG. I'm going to go ahead and put him in a C tier. Because, hey, it was a great season by him, regardless. Because this was his first full-time season in that car. And he just debuted in 2023, where he won it at street course at Chicago. So, I think there's still a lot more improvement.
That was the 91.
As well. Yeah. On his debut, he won. And this year, I say he did pretty decent. And like I said, in the second half, he had some more decent runs at the ovals. So, I'm putting him in C tier. It depends on how he'll do next year,
I'll give him a C plus. Because he is showing more consistency on the oval. Because I would say it is hard to go from his racing to ovals. And he's the car to beat when they do road courses.
I mean, honestly, Lord help us if SVG figures out these ovals. He'll be like Connor Zillage.
If he figures out these ovals, you might as well forget it.
Yeah. All right. So, next we got Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, I'm obviously going to put him in the A tier. Won a championship. First half, he got 3 wins. He had that slump during the summer. But I was talking about this week by week. Watch Kyle Larson. He's quietly sneaking into the championship 4 by getting consistently good finishes. Cliff Daniels, his teammate. Cliff Daniels, I mean, not his teammate. Well, it's kind of his teammate, but it's crew chief. Cliff Daniels reminds me a lot of Chad Canals, of how he's trying to lead that team. And I say he's the main reason why Larson won a championship. Just them able to work good races as a team. And of course, Larson had one of the top pit crews as well. So obviously, I got to put Larson in the A tier for having a great season. And second, well, I think he's like
I give him an A also.
I say he was third points in like the Winston format, only behind Chase Briscoe. So that's why I have Larson up there in the A spot.
I put him in the A spot, not just because he won the championship, but just exactly like you said. He was just coming in slowly.
Yeah. Kind of like the closer Kevin Harvick, honestly.
Yeah. Like, where did he come from?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. He is this generation's Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, so next we got Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell, I say he had an okay season. Wasn't a bad season. And honestly, there's not really like, his ceiling's not that high. Because, of course, he's with Front Row. He got a couple of wins with Front Row, and this was his first season with Spire. And he showed some speed, kind of like Carson Hocevar did. I say he's the second best driver in that organization. I think with his veteran experience, it's able to help Carson Hocevar. So I'm putting him in the same category as Hocevar in the C tier.
I'll put him in the C because he's the franchise of that company. I mean, you cannot take away his Daytona win.
Yeah.
And not very many people can say that they won at Daytona. So, yeah, he's the franchise of that company now.
All right. So next, now I got Joey Logano. Now Logano, he got that one at Texas, but honestly,
I bet you hate talking about this one.
Oh yeah. If you heard the history of my podcast, I cannot stand Joey Logano. I mean, I don't know how he lucks into the wins. Kind of reminds me of the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. Fraudulent champion, but I mean, in all honesty, if I had to rank Logano here, I'm going to put him in the C tier. Of course, it's just a strange thing with him. He doesn't perform in odd seasons. But this season was different compared to all the other odd seasons. I think he could have potentially been eliminated if he didn't win that Texas race. Because throughout the season before the playoffs, he just wasn't really performing that well. I mean, even score maybe like a top 5, top 10 here and there, but he just didn't have the speed like Ryan Blaney did, his teammate. And I don't know, just he didn't have that good of a season this year. This was, I say, it was more of a slump season. I mean, he didn't, okay, maybe I'm being harsh. He did make it to the round of 8, but he wasn't even a contender when it made it to the round of 8. Like, let's be honest here.
Let's be honest. He's just mad because he beat Chase.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that'd be something he would say. Honestly, that'd be something he would say. But yeah, I mean, Logano, 3-time champion. I mean, you got him in the C tier.
You can't take it away. With this year, I give him a C.
And you never know what the new playoff format's going to be. If NASCAR's going to do a 3-3-4 format, or if they're going to go back to the full points format. Logano's going to have to find more consistency.
And honestly, I wish they would go back to the full format.
Yeah. All right.
Because, I mean, the chase is okay. Or whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
But
just the playoffs,
I'm
like
old
it's
school.
A sport with a ball and a stick. This is motorsports.
Yeah, but I'm old school.
Quoting Mark Martin.
Yeah. So we'll see what 2026 holds.
Yeah, it's probably going to become a 4-time champion, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe the playoff format will change and he may not be one, but okay. So next I got Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon, although he got a win and made it to the playoffs, I'm actually going to put him in the same category as Kyle Busch, an F. Because beside Richmond, you take away Richmond, it's a disaster year for RCR. Austin Dillon barely had any good runs compared other than Richmond. So I'm putting him down there.
He needs to get out of that 3 car.
Well, I believe it.
Richard needs to put somebody that can win in that car. And I'm speaking as an Earnhardt fan.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, he's an F.
All right. So next I'm going to go
because he's just.
All right. Yeah,
he sucks.
Yeah, I get it. All right. I mean, I do genuinely like Austin Dillon. He's a nice guy, but it's just, you got to perform. I mean, you got to be accountable for your job. You got to actually race. But here we go. I'm going to put Ricky Stenhouse Jr. into D tier. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he did good in the equipment he has. I mean, he does look speedy here and there in a 47 car. But of course, this was, I think, another one of his down years. So I'll put him in the D tier. Just not as good of a season as usual, but not like falling off the earth bad, but not good.
You put Ricky in a plate track.
Oh, you put him in those RCR Xfinity cars, he'll be like 5
best.
seconds ahead.
Yeah. Doherty's equipment, they're lacking in their immediate tracks, their short track. But you put Ricky in a Atlanta, Daytona, Talladega, you'll see him in the top 10.
Yeah. All right, so
go ahead.
All right, so next I got Riley Earps. I'm putting him straight up in the F tier. He had a horrible rookie season, and honestly, I think he was moved up too early as well. Honestly, I think for 23-11, he's only in there because of the Monster Energy money.
Yeah.
He had nothing to show this season.
I saw nothing in him. If I could go below an F, I'd probably give it to him.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, now I got William Byron. William Byron didn't have as much wins as other seasons past, but he still had a really great season. Won the Daytona 500 and won regular season championship. And he remained consistent throughout the season. So, and then, of course, made it to the championship 4. Came up short just because his tire blew with 3 laps to go. But he was running second place behind Denny Hamlin. And the first half looked really good in the Phoenix race. So, William Byron, I mean, it's going to sound crazy and put him above Hamlin, but I actually have him at an A. Because William Byron, still quite young too, showing a lot of speed. And he showed like consistency this season like he usually has. I say besides Larson, he's probably like the second best driver at Hendrick. Yeah, as a Chase Elliott fan, I'm saying that Byron and Larson are better. So that's how you can tell I'm honest.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chase would forgive you.
Yeah.
I give Willie B an A minus. He did have that misfortune at Phoenix. But other than that, I put him with Hendrick. I put Chase first, Larson second, Willie B third, and Alex Bowman fourth.
I see. Okay, so all right. Go ahead.
So you can't take away him winning the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
And
still a prestigious race.
Just so consistent throughout the season. And for him, Hendrick, honestly, Rick Hendrick and Hendrick engines, just if that caution did not come out, Denny would have won the championship.
Yeah. All right, so next, we're going to talk about Todd Gilliland now. Todd Gilliland, I'm putting in a C. The reason why I put him in a C, I say out of all the front row cars, he's actually the strongest performing front row driver. I mean, at times, kind of like Legacy, he was running in the top 10. He showed some speed. He didn't have the finishes for it, but he showed that he had some good runs in him. So, I'm putting Todd Gilliland in the C section. Zane Smith, kind of similar. to Todd Gilliland, but I think he's a tick down from Todd Gilliland. I'll put him in the D tier. Your thoughts on those two?
I agree with everything you said. They just, yeah, we'll just go with everything you said.
All right. Okay, so I accidentally have Ty Gibbs twice on here, but we're just gonna ignore that extra Ty Gibbs picture right there. Okay, the last driver I have to talk about, my favorite driver, Chase Elliott. Now, Chase Elliott, he had a similar year to what he had in 2024. Just quietly consistent. Not a lot of wins, not a lot of. He didn't have the it factor, but he just looked really consistent, really clean. But he just had a couple of things that are like bad luck. I mean, I made a video about like Chase Elliott like after the regular season championship when he lost that to William Byron. There was a few races that looked like he could have won. But it was either his pit crew that made a mistake or it was Alan Gustafson making a bad pit call. And there was times I was questioning Alan Gustafson's job and why he was still there with Chase Elliott. But the problem is with him, he just does enough to keep his job, which he did well kind of in the playoffs. But honestly, if Chase Elliott's going to be a championship contender, he needs to win more races. So Chase Elliott, I am putting in the B tier. He's pretty much been a B plus driver, honestly. It just, Elliott's always one or two more steps away. But they just can never find it. And the only time they found it was in like 2020 when he won a championship. He hasn't won any crown jewels. And this season,
No.
I will be honest, those two races he won, he snuck in those wins. Like Atlanta, he made a few moves on the closing laps. And in Kansas, all because Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace were racing each other hard, Elliott was able to sneak in there. He does have the consistency, kind of like William Byron and kind of like the other Hendrick drivers. But to me, Larson and Byron are they're performing better than Elliott in certain aspects. And I think that's something just Elliott's got to improve on and them as a team. But he still hasn't had a bad season. Like he had a great season. It's just other drivers had a better season. So that's why I have him in the B tier.
I give him an A minus.
Oh, really?
Just because of the consistency. My opinion, after he got hurt during that skiing accident, I think.
Yeah.
He just wasn't the same for some reason. Do I think I'll go on record right now. Chase, if there is a playoff format like it is this year, Chase will be in the Final Four.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're always like one step away.
I say he will win 5 races next year.
All right. Well, honestly, I hope you're correct. I want to see him win a lot more races. And I think it's just a fact that he's also had to, he had to change his driving style up because this is a different car than what the Gen 6 was. And a lot of other drivers had to go through the same thing. But, I mean, I want to see that 2020 Chase Elliott. Heck, I want to see him win a crown jewel. But we'll just have to see how the rest of the seasons he has played out.
You never know when it comes to Daytona.
Definitely.
Just because if Michael McDowell can win at Daytona,
anybody can win.
Anybody can win at
Derek
Daytona.
Cope even won there.
Let's not go there.
oh yeah, because you're an Earnhardt fan. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's rough.
But I really see. I think Chase will be in the top 10 at Daytona 500.
All right. We'll just have to see. Okay. That's the end of the podcast, guys. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Helps out the channel an awful lot. Comment down below what you think about my driver's ratings and what you thought of Droopy's opinions too. Do I need to rank any drivers higher? Do I need to rank any drivers lower? What are your thoughts about like my opinions on these drivers? Of course, like and subscribe to help out the channel an awful lot. I'm also running the fundraiser for St. Jude. I'm gonna have the link in the description if you want to go donate to that. Of course, we're running the charity race on Black Friday. He's in my league as well, so he'll have his own local sponsor as a custom too. So it's gonna be exciting. I'm glad we're doing it for a good cause, and also we're having fun, like battling as well. So and doing it for a good cause.
Yes, we are.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you for the league race Saturday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. Short track racing. It's going to be chaotic, but hopefully we can get good finishes. So, all right. See you guys later.